Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man. It's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to Cocktails. Dirty discussions with Kiki and Medina Monroe. Yeah.
Okay, today's cocktail is called a mommy martini. The ingredients that you need for this is 2 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of pineapple juice, a 1/4 ounce of Chambord raspberry liqueur, and 1 ounce of Grand Marnier. That's optional, but I mean, if this is a mommy martini, I feel like moms be needing a lot of alcohol, so go ahead and put that shot in there. The way you're gonna make it is you're gonna just pour it in the shaker, shake it with ice, and strain. And there you have a mommy martini. Hey, Kiki.
It's a little tart. Oh, Jesus. I should put more vodka.
A little bit more, right? That's good, though.
Okay, so we have our first virtual quarantine guest this week from the Fun Time Moms podcast, all the way in the DMV. This is kind of cool. Hey, guys.
Hey, ladies. Let me grab my drink, too.
Right.
That looked like y'all like set that up.
Like a cheers. Like a virtual cheers.
Oh.
Put your drinks up.
Cheers to our first virtual guest.
I gotta lift my fingers if I don't want my no nails to be in the...
Will you guys introduce yourselves to our listeners?
So I'm Ashley. I am a married mom of 2. I have a 12-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter. Hopefully she doesn't bust in here.
And I'm Alicia, and I'm a single mom of a 14-year-old boy. And we have the Fun Time Moms podcast, as you said, which is all about millennial motherhood, about accepting all moms. And there's no one way to mom. So we realized that some people have the full like you have to wear mom jeans or whatever. It's it's totally not us. We still party. We still drink a lot. But we're really involved with our kids. We're PTA moms. And so it's showing that balance that you can have.
And we have been besties since 9th grade.
How did y'all meet?
I don't really remember meeting.
I don't either. We've literally probably been friends since the first week of 9th grade.
I feel like it was a group of girls that were kind of thrown together, and we all just became friends really fast because it was 2 separate groups of girls. You had friends from middle school, and then I have friends from middle school, and we all just kind of meshed. It was oh, we're cute, we look alike, let's all be friends.
We were corny though. We called ourselves at one point the Hot Girls. For the 99 2000.
Yes, we had a name.
Not the Hot Girls of 99 2000.
Okay, so at our school you get big sisters. So our big sisters were the Hot Girls, and we were too hot.
Oh yeah, too hot crew with 2
She's
T's.
correction, bitch.
Right, that's right.
Okay.
Right. It's
well, y'all some MILFs. Come on, MILFs. Come through with the MILF life. Come through, titties. Come on. With no titties.
My little titties today or whatever.
Well, y'all, welcome to Cocktails. Kiki, what you been up to, boo?
Girl, I'm just sitting here trying to figure out when are we getting out of this? Because I want to be around some men. I'm tired of masturbating.
I have not even been masturbating as much anymore because I feel like I'm literally gonna break my vagina. As soon as I turn the vibration on, I can just hear my pussy's thoughts of bitch, for real. Because I start now right on level 8.
Why? Are you trying to shock yourself? What are you in a rush for? You got all day to come?
It's the lower levels of the vibrations. It doesn't get me there anymore. I got to start on, let me not say 8. I got to start on 6, 7, or 8.
Maybe you need to try some different toys. So that's what I try to do is alternate the different toys. So even though I need some vibration period or some sort of pulsing or something, alternate the actual toy. That way you don't get too desensitized from one.
That's what the fuck is happening. I'm desensitized. I got to start putting that shit in my booty hole.
You might not like dick no more. You
when we get back, I'm
you might be completely numb and not working anymore.
Well, I guess we're going to find out. I'll let y'all know how that goes about going completely numb because
we'll check it in a week to see.
It's been a month for me.
Feel it down there.
And that's a long time, a whole month. So, that. And then I was sad on Easter. I miss my family. I want to see them. I usually spend it with somebody. Last year, I had a fabulous Easter brunch. Great time. And so now I've just been trying to come up with more and more ideas. Still working on the book. I got my cover together, so I'm excited about that. because I was really undecided. Thank you.
Cheers.
Oh, thanks.
Yes.
Another one.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I'm not gonna keep lifting up these raggedy ass hands though. So we're gonna have to cut the cheese
I'm working on it. I got 2 nails. I'll have 10 by the end of the episode. But yeah, I've just been trying to stay busy. When I don't stay busy, I find that like I get into a really bad mood. What have you been doing?
So, Easter, I felt the same way. I was a little bit sad because I really miss my family, just like you and like everybody. I really am missing my mom. I miss my grandmother. And it's so crazy because I was like, first day out, first trip I'm taking, I'm about to get my friends together and go somewhere. I'm going to Pittsburgh to see my grandma and my parents and stuff, and my sister and my brother. We're all just going to go to Pittsburgh and see our family. Not to like bring everybody down, but this morning my aunt Dot passed away from coronavirus. So it's starting to get hit home. Like at first this whole thing was like, oh, this is fun. The world's stopping. We don't got to work. I don't know nobody that got it. We good. Like you think it's going to like skip your family or something. And this morning my aunt Dot passed away, but she lived a very full life. Rest in peace, Aunt Dot. She was such a fly old woman. She was sassy. So that happened. So today has been kind of it's been a good day, but a kind of sad day when I think about what has happened. But I also watched Insecure, you guys, and
I watched it.
That shit was so good. I love that show. Did y'all watch it?
I did not. I want to. Ashley's not really into it.
I have only watched the one episode, the premiere episode that you made me watch when it first came on, and I'm trying to.
Why don't you watch?
I haven't.
It's such a relatable show.
Everybody says that, but my relatable shows, I'm like a psychopath. All I watch is murder shows and murder mysteries.
I
like that too.
She like Criminal Minds, SVU, that's it. So, but no, it's so funny. So she was so annoyed with me. The first episode, I made her watch it. I was like, it's so funny. Like, you know, when it came out, and if you guys remember, they were singing Broken Pussy. And I was in the house rapping Broken Pussy. And she was so fucking annoyed.
Okay, so I guess if that's all we have to catch up on, then we will move on to Weird Sex, and then we'll play a game.
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury.
Like dessert. Yeah. A man is absolutely not a necessity.
Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter?
Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
Yes. Okay. So this week for Weird Sex, I want to tell y'all, a friend of mine suggested, I'm going to do it. So we'll see how this goes. But a friend of mine suggested that I go on one of those prison pen pal websites.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
And find one, right?
No, you didn't.
So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do it. What else am I doing? So I've been on there like searching for somebody. He was like, you should put it in your show and make it like a little thing. So once I find my prison pen pal, I'm going to do that every Weird Sex every week and give y'all the update and let everybody know what's going on. I've seen some cuties in there, but I only want people who still have like 10 to 20 years left, preferably a life sentence. I tried to look at death row, but then I was like, you probably got people out here who will come and kill me too. So I'm going to leave them alone. I need other crimes. I wanted some white collar crimes, but they're not really on the websites that I've been on. So if anyone has a suggestion, please send it to me. But I saw this story in the Washington Post, and this man, it made me a little nervous today. This man killed his prison pen pal when he got out.
Why? What'd she do to him?
She led him on.
Like you about to do. All right, bitch.
I'm just going to be friends, but I just want to see what will happen. She led him on. She made him all these promises, and she told him, this is where she fucked up. She told him he could stay with her when he got out of prison and could parole with her. Like that was going to be his address. And when he got out, she ghosted his ass. Well, he found the ghost. So she's dead. That's unfortunate. Now, I'm not going to do all of that. That's too much.
What if he wants to start helping you pay your bills? You're going to have to deny that too. Because if you,
I don't want him to have my information.
He can get it. Please
you
believe.
know what?
No, but I'm saying I don't want him to send me money because I don't want him to have any information like that.
This does
He
not.
can have my picture.
As a friend, I'm going to just say this now and let it be known to everyone. This doesn't seem safe.
Well, I find that really funny because you were talking about the prison men that were writing you letters and you was writing them back and put the picture on the refrigerator.
No. I put the picture on
the prison letters on your refrigerator like a proud.
The reason why I put their picture on my refrigerator is because this man in prison, he had his sister find me on Instagram. They found my address somehow. Apparently you can find anyone's address. And they sent me, he sent me letters. And so he sent me a picture and I put it on my refrigerator and I keep it there he sent me a message when he got out. He got my phone number and texted me and was like, I'm out. So I had to keep looking at him so I could remember what he looked like just in case that nigga run up.
Mm-hmm. Right. So you know when to run.
Right. Yeah. I hear you.
If you do this, you're going to find yourself on Love After Lockup.
Now, I watched that show too and I love it.
That shit's hilarious.
I absolutely love it. Love After Lockup is funny. I'm trying to turn these little message things off because they keep dinging me, y'all.
I'm just concerned, Kiki. What are you sending him? Are you going to send him pictures, nudes? Like, what are you going to send him?
No. I'm just going to be a friendly prayer partner while he's in there. And I'm going to let y'all know.
No damn prayer partner.
Some people do. It's a box that you can check on there if you're looking for a prayer partner or legal help.
That's how they
Nigga, I'm done. If you're in prison and you need a pen pal, y'all know who you can text or talk to. So you guys, ladies, we like to play a game with our guests. And one of our games that we like to play is called the scenario game. So we are going to read you a couple scenarios with some options and you have to pick one of the options. If you don't want to pick an option, you got to show your titties. I'm just playing. You don't have to do that.
Look who fucking ready.
She ready. She said, Mama, who?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I will read the first one. So it says, a close friend's grown little brother expresses a sexual interest in you. He is attractive and y'all are both grown. You see him out one night. He asks you if he could buy you a drink. You A, accept the offer. It's just one drink. What's the harm in that? B, laugh in his face and tell him, Junior, stop before I call your sister. C, accept the drink and just see where the night leads you. Y'all are grown, and what your homegirl doesn't know won't hurt her. And again, y'all are grown.
It's going to be A for me. Like, A, if I see him, I'm going to be like, boy, you need to be buying me drinks. A, that's what I was going to say.
I was going to say, I never turned down a drink. So
right.
You got me there.
I think if it was a relationship like me and Alicia's friendship, and this is somebody I've watched grow up, I would be like, this is disgusting. Like when you were 5 and you shit in my bathroom, I had to clean your ass. And now, like, you're 25, and no, I'm going to remember when I had to clean your ass that time.
Yeah, I think that's weird. I mean, like I said, I think it's a level of the friendship. If it's like a newer friend, then bitch, your brother is off limit. I mean, like whatever. On limit, not off.
He's up for grabs. Give me the peen. Give me the little brother peen.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. That one ex that you always wanted back calls you out of the blue, apologizes for all of the heartache he has ever caused you, and says he would do anything to get you back. Do you A, say, who is this? Because you deleted him out of your phone and out of your life. Do you B, remain silent and shocked on the other end of the phone, then dramatically hang up? Or C, begin to cry and thank the Lord for answering your prayers to bring him back into your life?
I'm picking C.
Well, I'm definitely saying who this. I block everybody.
Alicia will block Alicia will block men because she doesn't like the way they sip their soda. She doesn't like the way they chew their food.
Kiki,
what?
This sounds like you. I remember one time Kiki didn't want to talk to him. It seemed like she liked him, and then she was like, I don't like the tone of his voice.
In my defense, he sounded like Pee Wee Herman. Do you want to be light up with Pee Wee Herman? No, and when he sips his drink wrong. I understand too. When's your birthday?
Girl, October 31st, Halloween.
Oh, okay.
Here's the deal. I know that I'm picking C. If it's the ex that I know that I truly do want back, and I really do have one of those men. If he does come back, I am gonna cry and be like, "Thank you, Lord." I love him. I love him.
Thank you, Lord.
Oh my God.
Okay, so here's the last one. You make a new incredible friend. She is cool as fuck. Y'all bond immediately. You realize she is not only a great friend, but also an incredible connection to have and is willing and able to help you with a project you've been working to get off of the ground for a while. She helps in so many ways that you never could imagine. Your dreams are finally starting to come true. A couple weeks later, you find out she is dating your ex of 5 years. You A, cancel the project and end the friendship because you still want your ex. B, try to talk to her about it and see how serious her and your ex are and see how she feels about moving forward. Or C, act like that shit doesn't bother you even if it does because you have a goal you are trying to reach.
D.
We can't say the same thing. Listen, because I want to say that too.
Well, I've met someone who we dated the same person and we didn't know after. It was before we met each other and we were friends. And I was just like, I don't
They were
care.
still dating him though? This is like they're still dating him.
Right, or they start dating them. But for me, I really wouldn't care. All of my other boyfriends, I got married really young. All of my other boyfriends are like high school boyfriends, like 19 and
This
younger.
is hypothetical.
I know, but I'm trying to think. So if it was somebody like my long-term boyfriend that I had before, who I really did care about, and somebody who's dating him now that I just met, I wouldn't care. But if it was somebody who knew him when we were dating, I might care.
I think as a married woman, if you cared, your husband should have a big problem with the fact that
but it's still like, damn, bitch. Like, I don't want, like, don't come talk to me about sex.
Right.
You have to be like, well, this is what we used to do.
I feel you.
Right.
This is a scenario that happened in Insecure, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, it would be awkward, but I would keep it going. The girl is cool as shit. And I feel like they have such a great friendship and they didn't know each other and they didn't know this is a fucking crazy situation. And even if I cared, I would go home and cry my eyes out to whoever I needed to cry my eyes out to and still be her friend and still work on what they're working on together. What about you,
weirder
Kiki?
relationships, I think. So.
I was about to say, like, even now, my husband and I both have relationships in a capacity of people both of us have dealt with before we were serious. And
are y'all swingers?
Have you ever thought about it?
It's so funny because that's what else we get into, but we're not swinging.
No, we're not swinging. We're not swinging.
But I'm going home tonight, y'all. Look at her came over this sexy shit for me. But no, I have somebody who I've like dealt with in my past that my husband is cool with. And then I have a girl who I became friends with and didn't know he had messed with. And so after the fact, and he kind of like would ice skate around like the topic, like, oh, I don't know why you want to hang out with her, blah, blah, blah. Like, what? Say, nigga, I fucked her. Like, why wouldn't you tell me that? And I didn't find out for a long time.
Were you cool with it or did you have a slight attitude?
I think if they had told me earlier, I would have been more okay with it. Me and her kind of stopped talking after that.
I think for me, if I was in a situation like on Insecure, I could keep the friendship going. But I would have to establish some boundaries real quick. Like, sorry, girl, I know you want to talk to me about him, but it's still like a soft spot. So can we just not talk about that right now? So things don't have to be awkward. And I'd probably, I'd do that. And see how it works. But if I get too uncomfortable, I probably would have to break up the friendship.
Issa friends with somebody that's messing with Lawrence.
We don't. You gotta watch it, girl. You gotta watch the episode. It's really a crazy. You're like, yeah, bitch. Let me tell you the whole episode.
Y'all need to watch it.
You gotta watch it. It's an interesting scenario.
It really is. Okay, that was the last one, right? Yeah.
But I need to watch Insecure because so funny. Speaking of our big sisters who were the hot girls.
Oh yeah, she's on Insecure. She's gonna open the episode.
Yeah, one of our friends is on the open episode. So
she an extra or is she a main character?
No, she's not a character, but not a main character. She like works at whatever office Issa works at. Something. I don't know. I'll find
she had like a gray pants and shirt.
Yeah, but I know she was on a couple of other episodes too. Yeah. She on a gray pants in the house.
Okay.
I keep looking out my window and out back like, who the fuck is outside? But my husband is like grilling.
Well, we're going to get into our discussion. But before we do, I want to make sure our guests and our listeners, and even you, Kiki, I wanted to make sure that nobody gets Corona zoned. And Corona zoned is a lot like friend zone, but it's Corona zoned. And I want to read the definition of being Corona zoned because it kind of happened to me, and
Did you make it up? Like this is a Medina term?
No, this is an actual definition, not maybe on Instagram. It's on Instagram.
Okay.
So Corona zone is a verb, and it means engaging in flirty, romantic, and or sexual conversation with someone you have no intention of dating once social distancing is over, solely because self-isolation is leaving you bored and lonely. So you hit me up, try to come to my house, try to get in this pussy and succeed, and then you don't even really want to fuck with me because it's just quarantine season and you just played me and made me waste my goddamn vagina juices.
You mad?
I am pissed.
Lip all curled up. Let me tell you, it's some niggas on the end of this that's about to be Corona zone because I've been answering phone calls. I've been returning text messages. I've been responding to DMs. I have even been accepting Instagram live requests. Before the whole world decided that Instagram live was cool, I have been getting on Instagram live Monday through Friday faithfully. Now all these people are on there. All these people keep coming. They want to request. They want to talk. And I just say, okay, well, come talk. I'd like to see somebody else besides who's here.
I think Corona zone is a lot like jail talk. Like,
it's the same thing to me.
In jail and he's like, oh, when I get home, we getting married. I'm doing right by you. That's what Corona zone is. Everybody's having like jail talk right now.
I mean, like I saw something. So speaking of Instagram, I saw a meme that was really funny, and it was like, fellas, go slide in her DMs now, and that bitch bored. Like she gonna respond.
I am.
And I think
Please
that's what they doing.
Bruh. Niggas is out here getting Corona zone and doing Corona zoning.
What happened when it happened to you?
I got ghosted, Kiki, and the shit is like...
How long did it last that y'all were talking? We're not out of Corona yet.
Well, here's the deal. Like, I feel... I've never been ghosted, like, in the traditional sense of, like, somebody really... I've always been like, okay, if somebody stops fucking with me, something happened, and you are aware of what happened. I've never been, like, truly ghosted. This nigga got me. Remember how I told you I had that little bit of quarantine when it first started? And I was like, oh, I'm good. I got my little quarantine, and we good. Well, this nigga just fell off the face of the earth one day, and I didn't know what happened. I thought maybe he had got the virus and like was sick and was dying. I'm blowing his phone up.
Then you got concerned,
and
probably.
Yeah, I'm really concerned. I'm hitting him up. I'm like, where you at? Like, what's up? Like, he was like Corona Bay, and he's cool as shit. It's not even somebody where I can be like, this nigga ain't shit. He was cool as fuck. Like, he was fun. I was like, this is gonna be a fun little Corona partner, and I don't hear from him. Like I was with him the first 2 nights of quarantine, and we were talking every day until he had ghosted me, and then a couple of days ago he hits me up. Like, my last text message that I sent him was like, hey, like, did you block me? I look and sound thirsty, and that's why I'm really mad. I'm like, did you block me? He sends me a message on Sunday night right before Insecure came on, talking about I'm having some technical difficulties.
You broke your phone?
I said, I literally said, are you fucking kidding me? He was like, no,
I'm gonna tell you what his baby mother said.
He don't even got no baby mothers.
He probably had a live-in quarantine bae for a couple of days.
Yeah, somebody.
And then she was gone.
Bruh, I was offended. I was like, wow. I was like, are you kidding me? He's like, oh, what's up? You trying to see me or something? No, the fuck, I'm not trying to see you. I was like, don't even talk to me anymore. Don't ever talk to me again. And I am just so offended at the way that he treated me. Anyways, on to the next. I was just really mad.
Lesson to all the listeners out there.
Don't do it. Don't get Corona zone. Don't get so bored that you give a nigga your vagina that don't even deserve it.
Well, thank you for that PSA. I hadn't heard of Corona zone. I did see a meme about jail talk, and that's what's going on right now. And well, maybe if the jail talk is good enough, we can make it real. So you could still send me messages. I don't know about Medina, but you can still send me messages.
Since you two like to cut people off immediately, now is the time you might find real love because you get to know somebody. Yes.
Conversation.
Yes. So I definitely did some jail talk. I wrote a whole fucking blog talk about maybe it's time to settle down. Really, a bitch was just lonely one day. And I was like, I don't have anyone to go to the market with.
So
being lonely is the devil.
Being lonely is the devil. And speaking of being lonely, let's talk about mom life, because I feel like you two aren't like I put on here like make sure you check on your single friends, but I'm also starting to be like you also got to check on niggas that's in relationships, because especially if you have a child that lives with you and now you got to homeschool them and tutor them, or if you got a husband and kids, y'all just all up in each other's booties all day long. Are y'all okay? Yeah. Are y'all good? Y'all getting on each other's nerves?
I'm getting to the first couple of weeks. I was fine. I was like, okay, my kids started official distance learning today at 9 a.m. and like 10 o'clock, I was sitting on my daughter's floor like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Like, I'm not good with that. My husband usually doesn't get on my nerves, but this weekend he'd been pushing every button that I have left. That's why he outside cooking for us right now, because he's trying to make it up. Bought me some flowers today.
Yeah, he must have got cussed out real bad, because I came in here, it was roses on the table. He was like, you want a vegan burger, Alicia? I was like,
don't you hate when you go to your friend's house and they got a boyfriend or a husband and you can tell an argument is about to happen or it just happened and you're just sitting there like, hey guys, you want me to? No, sit down. Don't leave.
It becomes very uncomfortable.
You're just like,
because Alicia, you know.
But look, that's why I go to my room. I was like, I'm gonna go in my room. So I'm right here. He asked about vegan burgers, his flowers out. The fuck is going on?
Have you, since you're not married, have you been feeling like very lonely and like doing the things that I'm doing, thinking of creative ways to meet someone new besides writing blog posts?
Yes, absolutely. I'm very lonely. I have been lonely. So I have days. So I have been very, very busy with work. So ironically, I'm blessed enough, because I'm trying to change my narrative, because I was agitated that I'm working so much. But I'm blessed enough to have a job, career, whatever, that I'm actually really busy right now. So I'm like working nonstop. But then at night, I am like, damn, like, or like, you know, sometimes it hits me in the morning. I'm like, damn, I don't got nobody to go to the market with, or be like, you know, like lay up with. I want to roll over, get some in-house pain.
So
quarantine.
But you told me the other day you were talking about your boo, and I didn't even ask you, has he been over?
Yeah, but
so you do got a boo.
I don't have a boo.
You do have a boo.
I don't have. It's not a boo.
What is it?
It's a situation.
Is it like him?
He's been around for months.
It's not a boo.
She's snitching.
Damn, I can't fucking tell.
I was trying to get into some stuff.
It's your own people.
Because that's honest. Like, you have a whole boo.
He's not a boo.
She makes dinner for his family and shit.
Somebody
You got a nigga. You got a whole nigga.
I made a pan of. It was a death. It was for her repast. I don't think that counts.
Yeah, it does. So what?
That's the part she leaving out. She said, like, I'm just cooking dinner for his family. I don't even know this man.
There's more stuff.
But when it's the funeral and you're there for those moments, that's something.
Whatever. It's not a boo.
Okay, so we're going to let her be in denial and have commitment issues. And we're going to talk about mom life. I'm always curious to know, like, I have a mother who, we don't have kids. But my mom, she's always been like the type of person where like she always said she felt like she was born to be a mom. And so I'm always curious to know, like, your first initial reaction when y'all got pregnant and y'all answered separately, like, were you excited? Like, oh my gosh, yes. Or were you like, fuck, I don't want this baby.
Smortion was my first thought.
Mm-hmm.
This is honest, okay?
Yeah.
Smortion. I was 18 when I was pregnant, and I wanted a smortion, and I tried to go get one, but they told me to go home because you weren't 6 weeks yet, and then you had to come back. And in between that time, so much crazy stuff happened. And then my aunt who raised me wound up calling me one day randomly while I was on my way to work and was like, yeah, said that her aunt called her from New York and was like, she had a dream of fish and like, is she pregnant? She was like, why would I be pregnant? At the time, my aunt was in remission with leukemia. She was like, bitch, I got cancer. What the fuck I'm getting pregnant for, right? And she was like, Dad, I thought about it. It's you. And I just remember I just bust out crying like, I am, but I don't want no baby by him. And then, so long story short, my son survived some smortion.
She didn't actually go get one and he survives.
I mean, right. I didn't go back. So,
but yeah, he's here.
And how old is he now? 14. So do you ever feel like people are putting pressure on you to act a certain way, wear certain things, be interested in certain things just because you're a mom? And has it been like that the entire time?
So yeah, for a major part of my time, and like when I raised him, like for his younger years, we lived in a very rural community, like outside. So yeah, we lived in a very rural, biracial, mostly white community. So all the moms there, traditionally, Black moms do tend to be a lot younger. White moms, they have babies at like 40 and 35, and that's when they starting, like after they finish their career. And traditionally, I think in a Black home, it don't usually work out like that. So it's like, I'm out there, and like, again, I've always been a very involved mom. So, which is ironic because I think people think because you're a young mom, you're just wild. And it's like, no, I party on the weekend or party at night. But motherfucker, I'm at the school all day long whenever they got an issue, or I'm there at soccer, or I'm there whatever. So my son was always involved in sports since he was 4 years old. And I remember like those times feeling so isolated. Because I'll be at these sports events, I could not relate to these mothers. They were frumpy, they were old, they would be looking at me like, and I'm like, I don't even fit in with y'all. So, and then as he got older, it's like, I'm the mom on the sideline. It ain't water in my little cup. And they all like talking about doing dishes. So I'm like, this adult drinking mine.
Yeah, I felt the same way. Alicia was 19 when she had her son. I was 21 when I found out I was pregnant. So I just was able to like do anything legally. And literally 3 months after turning 21, I found out I was pregnant. And I remember let me tell you how fucking emotionally depressed I was. I was going to my doctor to get on birth control.
Oh man.
Pissed the fuck I was. So they did, your exam or whatever, swabbing you. So I'm just sitting there and like 10 minutes go by. I was like, oh my God, I got some shit. They about to come back and tell me my pussy on fire, whatever. So he comes back, he's like, yeah, we can't give you birth control today because you're 4 weeks pregnant. I was like, who, me? And I literally sat there and laughed for like 20 minutes.
Were you already married?
No, I wasn't married. Me and my husband had known each other for a couple of years, but we had just gotten to like a serious relationship. I had moved in about 2 months earlier. We weren't like, he was super young. I was super young. So it was crazy. And I remember coming home to him. And I was like, he was sitting on the couch and I see it so vividly. And I was like, I'm pregnant. It's fine. We don't have to have this baby. And he was like, oh no, I think we should. And I was like, what? No, we don't. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. And I remember I went out that night with some of my girlfriends and we were sitting at a bar and we were ordering drinks. And I was like, I'm pregnant! And I just bust out crying like, I'm pregnant! I couldn't drink. I think not drinking is one of the hardest.
I was just about to say, I'm always curious to know when people get pregnant, I want to have children, but I'm always like, am I really going to be able to just like not do drugs and not drink anymore? Like, is that a thought?
It literally hits you like instantly, like, shit, I just can't do this. But I will say, so my first pregnancy, I did everything by the book. I didn't do no drugs, no edibles, no drinking, nothing, no sips of wine. But with my second pregnancy, I would be like, well, a little one drink won't hurt.
He gonna be all right.
Wine though, you can drink red wine.
But you shouldn't.
You should not.
So I've known people that have had pregnancies.
But it's so crazy.
I did not. But
you've only had one pregnancy.
Right. I only had one.
Trust me.
So look, if you have a second.
Only had one survivor. And I didn't drink like that then. So it wasn't hard for me then because I was 19. Right. I didn't drink like that.
I was 27, my second pregnancy. So I was, full-blown fucking alcoholic at that point. And it was hard, especially towards the end. I think I didn't drink at the beginning after I found out.
So let me ask you this. Do you guys feel like your vaginas are significantly looser than what?
So funny. I knew you were going to ask that because I remember listening to an episode that you guys had and you were saying like, oh, because you guys vaginas are tighter.
Like we haven't had human beings come out of our vaginas.
But it's a muscle.
It's difficult.
That is not how vaginas work, Medina.
But
unless you like had a whole lot of babies.
Right, but at first it is weird as shit. Like you don't even want to wipe yourself, touch it. I remember just sitting on the toilet like I'm an air dry. Because I couldn't even like wipe myself with a fucking tissue.
Oh my God. I always talk about my first shower in the hospital at home. My first shower at home after having my son. I remember being in the shower and I literally probably the young mind of me, I was like, oh my fucking God, my vagina is falling out. I literally thought my shit was falling to the floor.
Why?
What was really happening?
It just felt like that. It just was like, it felt so heavy. It felt like it was literally falling. I was like, something's wrong.
Did y'all have to get stitches?
Yeah. I did. My first pregnancy, I got stitches. I didn't get stitches my second time, but my son's head is
she might have been looser, y'all. Y'all might be right. She didn't get stitches the second time. But Alicia had a big head when she came out. Her head was real talking about her baby.
Did y'all tell your kids these stories?
I have asked my husband over the years. I've asked my husband. I started having sex with my husband when I was very young, and now to be 30-something.
Does it feel different?
I'm like, is it different? Does it feel different? And he tells me no. He tells me sometimes it feels better.
Pussy get well.
I think maybe because when I was 16, I just was like this. Take me now. Now I don't know what to do. But yeah, he says it's better. So
do y'all have sex often now? Since you have kids?
After having my children, I do feel like I went, especially with my son, I went through a period where I was like, like I said, I was 21 years old. So now I'm like, I hate my body. I don't like this. I couldn't like lose the weight, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, for probably the first like 6 months, I was like, don't touch me, don't look at me, don't whatever. And he would like be begging to have sex. And I was like, ew, why do you want to have sex with this vagina? It's loose, it's open. And he was like, no, he just wanted it.
I'm scared to have kids.
But that's the thing. I think we think all the time men care about that we've gained weight or our bodies change or that we have stretch marks or cellulite or whatever it is. They do not.
They still won't fuck.
They don't care about
I'm curious to know because the first time you had sex after you had your son, you weren't married. So you were with like somebody that was possibly not the father of your child. Was that nerve-wracking?
I don't remember when I didn't have sex with somebody new until my son was almost 1 year old. So
that's still a new.
I mean, well, yeah, and I was fine with that.
I really try to think about a whole human baby coming out of my vagina, and I just can't.
It goes back. It stretches. Look, the vagina is a magical thing.
It is magical.
It tightens back up.
Mine has a different kind of magic. I'm not trying to put babies through there. I'm working with a different type of magic.
Oh, wait a minute. So you don't want to ever have babies, or you want to have? Like,
I don't. No. Never. I don't want to be pregnant. Let me say that. I have no interest in being pregnant or giving birth. It's terrifying to me. I've had a nightmare about it. It's not for me, but I do like kids, mainly other people's kids that I can return home. But I do like kids. I would adopt a child. I would consider a surrogate, but I don't really know because I still feel like it's so many life changes that come with having a kid. It's not just, the baby. They're going to be nagging me. My sister has 3 kids, 3 little girls, and she's 2.5 years younger than me. She called me yesterday breaking down. She said she locked herself in her bathroom with one of these tripods like we have for our phones, put her phone on it, brought a chair in there and sat down because her husband and her children were getting on her nerves and she just needed a moment to herself. She was like, they're all here. They all need me all day and I'm sick of it. I don't know. I just can't do it. That's the kind of stuff that makes me say, oh, I don't know about that.
I mean, that's true. Like you, from the time that they're born, your life is going to change until forever. I'm sure you guys call your mom sometime about the most insignificant things. When I get sick now, I'm like, I want my mommy. Like it never fucking stops.
That's the thing. I think that's the thing that I never really was one to like really want kids anyway. But that was the thing where I would never want another one because I don't know. It's just the responsibility of it. Like the weight of you're responsible for this human being in this world. And this world is crazy, especially having a teenage Black boy. Yeah. Like it's so many different things that I got to worry about with him, teaching him. And then that definitely doesn't help because he has a donor and not a father. So that doesn't help. So it's like, I think that situation was so rough that I was like, I would never put myself in a situation again. Like I would never even chance it.
Yeah.
So.
Is it difficult dating with having a son?
I wouldn't say it was now that he's older. I don't really bring people around my son
I'm so happy to hear you say that. I think that a lot more single mothers and fathers, single fathers too, I think it's very important when you start to date someone and you have kids, you don't need to bring everybody you're dating around your child. That is like mentally, that you can fuck somebody up. But go ahead and continue what you were saying.
No, and like people that he has known or whatever, it was people that were like friends first, and then like we kind of fell into a relationship with something like that, or like just people that like I was really serious with and I was in a relationship with, and he's known. But I really make sure I hold, like anybody that messes with me know how I feel about my son. So no one's ever going to try that relationship because like what he say is golden. Like my son ain't my king, but my son is my king. You know what I mean?
We hate the term.
We hate that. People say that
term when they're like, my son is my king. Oh God. Like we always joke when we have like most of our friends have boys.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that has a girl. Am I the only one that has a girl too? I think so. Yeah, so what are y'all laughing at?
Medina is on her third lemon drop.
It's like 2.5.
But remember, I doubled everybody's.
There's a lot of sweetness in here. Hey, I had a rough day.
But you handle your liquor a lot better than me.
So good right
I just saw her pouring. We have a shaker off to the side. And so I looked a little while ago. I was like, she doesn't have any. I do.
Yeah. So I wanted to go back to when you said your son has a donor and not a father. And I have always wondered, I grew up in a household, my parents, they've been married for 36 years, I believe. And so I always had my dad and my mom. And so I'm always curious to know, what is that conversation like to a child when they start to get around that age and they realize they don't have their dad there? Like what and how many times? Is it a constant conversation? Do they need therapy? Like how do you work through that with a child?
I do think it's a constant thing. I don't think it's ever something that a child really gets over, even if they act like it doesn't bother him. Like his father hasn't been consistent in his life since he was 1 year old. And so it's a little easier because he's never known of him to be like a really good father or be in the house or anything like that. As opposed to, he has 2 older sisters, and like his oldest sister remembers that, like her dad being a really good dad before he became a piece of shit. Like, and so it was a little harder for her initially, but I think now that's why she has like kind of the hardest feelings towards him. My son kind of like goes with the flow. So he might be bothered, but he's very much like me where he won't really act like he's bothered. He kind of like lets it roll off. But
let me ask you this. Let me pause you real quick. Is it one of those situations where it's like, okay, he's not a good dad because he has an addiction issue or something like that, or he's not a good dad just because he simply just doesn't want to be there and he doesn't give a fuck?
So yeah, I don't. So it's a little bit both in the sense that we definitely think something's wrong with him. It's definitely been a deterioration in his mental health over the years. That's like things that he does is not normal. So I think it's easier to explain. Like, you think it's normal for him to call you and talk about a bunch of numbers? Like that's not normal. Like you know what I mean? So I think that makes it easier to explain. And then part of it is just he's an ass. But then also there's an element that we definitely think that assholeness is brought on by something else in his family history that he's never had the opportunity to take care of.
And then for me, like, I didn't grow up with a father, so the relationship that my kids have with their dad is something totally new. I don't really talk to my father. I talk to my father once every 2-3 years. So, but my dad has become like group dad. Like, he wants to have the boys around. He wants to take them to do stuff. And I think that that's really important because even sometimes when you don't have an actual father, to have a strong male figure is really important. And sometimes it comes from an uncle or godfather or whatever it is. So we do try to have our kids together as much as possible and around each other and all those things.
Right. And I think so. Then that's why I've always been big. Like I said, my son played sports since he was 4 because I always knew the importance of having a male role model and a strong, positive male role model in your life. And he's always been blessed to have that. Like he plays football now. His coaches love him. They always calling me, like they're doing extra stuff for him. Like, you know, so I don't think, and then my cousins, and then like Quick, he's really close with, you know, like she's saying, her husband. Like, so I think he sees a lot of positive male role models, and that really helps with the void of his father not being there.
Do you guys ever, since you guys do have a podcast, it's not just a sex podcast. We have a sex podcast that is going to, you know, thrive and live on for a very long time and grow. I want to have kids. Kiki doesn't want to have kids. She would rather marry somebody who already has kids.
I don't have them at all.
Or don't have them at all. Do you guys ever worry Or are you ever concerned about your children not finding out certain things about you?
I think it's a bit of a worry, but I think sometimes we're a little too open with our children.
Like how?
I mean, when you say you're too open, have you ever, I don't know if you've ever like acted like a whore before in your life or you had hoe phases, but like if you did, are those like situations that you share with your child?
Yeah, I don't think we necessarily are going to sit down and talk to them about it, but it's like, if it comes up and they want to discuss some stuff, it's like, here we go. We got to have this discussion. So we do talk a lot about a lot of stuff on our podcast, but like my house, we consider my house like the fun house. Like nothing's really off limits. You can do whatever you want. We don't care. When it comes to the kids, as long as nobody's bleeding, we don't give a fuck.
As long as nobody's bleeding?
Yeah, because kids work it out.
Yeah,
you'll learn. When you become a parent, you'll learn. Kids work it out. Don't get involved.
What is the most uncomfortable conversation you've had with your children?
Mine was the sex talk and giving my son condoms.
She's giving her son condoms and put them on bananas.
Yeah.
So he's
do it too.
I want him to be busting condoms and bringing home like talking about this girl, this my baby.
So he is having sex.
No, he's not. He's not. So I do trust that he's not. I do feel like we have a relationship that he would tell me if he was.
That he's not.
Do you think if he came to you, if he came to you and asked for tips, how would you handle that?
No, we ain't that motherfucker cool. So like, we talk about the boundaries. See, so that's what the boundaries like. That's a good example, Kiki. I'm glad you said that.
Okay.
So it's like, yes, I'm gonna talk to you about sex. And as you have sex to make that decision, you need to protect yourself. Here are condoms in case you ever decide you want to make that decision, and you might not be comfortable talking to me first before you do it. I want you to make sure you're protected, but I do want you to come talk to me about it, right?
But why did that conversation come up if he's not having sex?
Because I saw, because these fucking girls are hot in their fucking ass. That's why. Because
he's getting older.
Girl texting him. This girl texted him and asked him. He did not. He waited a whole day. So the girl texted him and said, "Do you want to fuck me?" That was her text. And this was
14? Is he a high school 14 or a junior high 14?
He's high school. He's ninth grade. But this was when he was in middle school.
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to fuck?
Yeah. This was when he was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
So, like, beginning of 8th grade.
Did you call her mom?
Huh?
Did you call her mom?
I asked him for her number, so she wouldn't answer the phone for me. And I asked him, like, her mom and stuff. He ain't no snitch, so he wouldn't ever tell me. He's like, I don't even talk to him, Mom. I don't even talk to him. See how long it took? So this fool, because that's what I'm saying. He's so fucking immature. He waited a whole day and then text her the next day like, yeah. That's it, yeah. And I was like, what the fuck you mean, yeah?
She didn't see a problem with him saying yeah. She just kept saying the girl was fast. But I said,
because he's fast too.
And you don't think he has sex?
He told me, I'm telling you, it'd be the girls that try to get the boys. Boys are just dumb.
But can I just say something really quick? As somebody who doesn't have children, but I am someone's child, I be feeling like moms be in denial. Parents be like, he gonna tell me. But the thing is, no, the fucking, I didn't tell my mom when I had sex. She had to find out. I'm not telling you.
I still want to talk to my mom about sex. And we have this whole show. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to talk about it. She'll send me like funny stuff on Instagram. She's really into Instagram. She was like, it's ratchet. She loves it.
My mom is like that. She sends us the most inappropriate stuff, and we're like, ew. And my sister is like in her 40s. I'm married for fucking 10 plus years with 2 kids. I'm like, Mom, ew. Don't send me nothing about fucking, sucking, nothing. But I do think boy moms are a lot more in denial than girl moms. I have a girl and a boy. Mm-hmm. My son is older. So
you're more balanced.
So I am more balanced because Alicia does say to me all the time, like, these fast ass girls.
They are fast.
I'm like, these boys are just as fucking fast as these girls.
They are.
I don't want to believe it. So my most uncomfortable moment.
I think boys are dumb.
That
boys
too.
Are dumb. They go along with shit.
Fast and dumb.
My son's a fucking whole genius, but that's another story.
He's a what?
A whole genius.
He's a whole genius. But my most uncomfortable moment is, like I told you guys, I like prom shows, SVU. So, you know, it's always rape on those shows. So about 2 years ago, my son was like, well, Mom, what's rape? So we had to have this whole conversation about what rape is. And even now, I feel like in the climate of the world we're in, we have to talk about like what consent is. Like, you know, if somebody
you damn near gotta get these bitches signed a contract.
Right, it's like, then that's how I feel like we basically have to get them to say like, yes, you can feel my titties. Yes, you can touch my vagina. Yes, we can fuck. And I told him that I was like, you need to be absolutely fucking sure with these
How old
girls.
is your son?
My son is 12. Her son is 14.
Wow. You have to have sex talk early.
You need to have it before they have sex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I was 12, I had like a full-blown boyfriend from the time I was 12 to I was like 16.
Wow, so you're really a relationship girl. I can tell.
I've always been in like relationship. And then we used to like pants rub and like shit like that.
Like hump?
And I just,
Hump?
Yeah. Like, you know, so yeah, we call it the pants rub. Like you're on top of each other with your clothes on and shit.
Gotta make a fire.
So yeah, I would want to I talk to my son about stuff like that. And sometimes he does be like, he doesn't want to talk about it or he feels like it's a little crazy. But I'm like, okay, I'm just letting you know.
I know what's going on. That's what I think is crazy.
Like, I was your age. I did certain things.
That part. I think it's crazy how like at a young, did y'all ever used to play boyfriend and girlfriend when you were little?
Yes.
Yeah,
I used to play house and women.
Yeah.
And I was always in charge. Nothing's changed.
So I just had these little dusty ass little boys who lived in apartments with me when I was little, and I didn't get it then. But they used to always want me to be the mother, and I was like, "Why do you keep wanting me to be the mother? I don't want to be the mother." But it's because they want to lay down with me on a little fake bed. I like being a mother.
And that's the crazy part. Like you know what kids are doing just based off of what the fuck you were doing. I was playing boyfriend and girlfriend at like fucking, I had to be like 8 years old. And there was no sex, but there was like dry hunching. And like I was always the mom too. And I was like the mom and some people would be the kids. Like normally the uglier children would be the kids. And like the more attractive people got to be the parents. And like we would be like just doing weird shit with our body parts. Like sex wasn't happening, but you could tell like we wanted to just explore our little body parts.
I didn't do that part. I was like, so did you get paid today? How much did you get? Because we have bills to pay and I want you to buy me this. And then I would be like, oh God, here I am in this house. I'm cooking and you guys don't even appreciate it. I was saying all kind of crazy stuff and it's funny.
You were stressed out.
I was watching
stress mama.
I was watching too many soap operas. So when I was little, I lived with my grandparents and then later I moved in Louisiana and then later I moved to Texas with my mom and my stepdad after they had been married for a few years. But I was always watching General Hospital, One Life to Live, because the relationships between my grandparents and my mom and my stepdad, they were pleasant relationships. It wasn't like that. I was too busy trying to be Erica Kane. I've been walking around in feathers and fake diamonds and those little plastic heels they used to have at the grocery store with those little fingernails you pop on for far too long. I wasn't interested in sex. Oh, but when I discovered sex and that feeling, I don't know what I did. I must have touched myself or rubbed myself in a weird way one time mistakenly. And it felt good. And then I was like, well, hold on. This is what people are doing. And then I also saw my grandparents have sex. And that was kind of traumatizing.
That's disturbing.
But have you told
what she said?
I don't know.
When you lost your virginity, did you tell Sean how old you were?
No. I would never tell them that.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell my kids either.
So you wouldn't tell your kids what?
So yeah, age you lost your virginity. That's something I never told myself.
I wouldn't tell.
The age we lost our virginity at.
Oh.
Because I don't want him to get an idea.
God, my age was Sean's age now.
My age was younger than him. I lost my virginity at 13.
Ew, you were a whole
Oh, you were.
Okay, so when you lost your virginity, when you lost your virginity, do you remember what it was like? Did you really know what you were doing?
Did you like it?
Whose idea was it? Yours or his?
He was older. It was definitely his.
Good God.
It doesn't come up in here.
She was worried about the hookah, bitch. You need to be worried about them nostrils.
Sorry, it's our studio audience. Oh no.
Hello?
Yeah. I can hear you.
We just froze in a cute position.
It's stuck.
We can still hear y'all though.
Okay.
There we go.
So I was 13 when I lost my virginity. The guy was much older than me. I don't even know, honestly, how old he really was now. But he was like my boyfriend from around my way. I used to drive his Lexus to middle school.
You a bougie bitch. Was he? How old was it? Was this R. Kelly?
She doesn't know.
I think he was 20 or 21, but I don't remember.
At 13?
And I don't know if it was yeah. So then I didn't think he was a pedophile, but now I recognize that he was a pedophile. Mm-hmm. Then I thought I was just like, you thought you were
that bitch.
Yeah, I was like, because I'm that bitch, duh. And I remember losing my virginity. I didn't want to tell him that he was my first because
so you just suffered.
I was pretending like I've done it before.
I remember when someone first asked me if I was a virgin at a young age, and I think I was in 8th grade, and the dude was older. He wasn't grown, but he was just in like high school or something. And he had asked me if I was a virgin, and I didn't know what it meant. And so I was like,
how old were you?
When I lost my virginity?
No, when he asked you if you were a virgin.
I was in 8th grade, so I must have been like 12 or 13. Is that how old you were in 8th grade?
13 and 14.
Yeah, and I didn't really know what that meant. And so I was like, yeah. And he was like, what? And I was like, no, I'm not. I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about, though. I was a virgin, though. I sure was.
Now my daughter asked earlier, she's like, Mom.
This is why you gotta have the sex talk early.
That's why you gotta have the sex talk early.
Oh my God.
That is why. That's why, like, so I'm half in denial, right? Because I do think that me and my son, I hope that he would come and talk to me, right? But I obviously know that he probably won't. And that was my purpose of giving him condoms. Because I get it. He's a 14-year-old boy. He has hormones jumping like crazy. And these fast-ass girls will be trying to convince him to give him that wood.
First of all,
he probably trying to do the convincing.
They want my son wood.
Let me tell y'all, last year he was dating twins.
He was not. He probably was lying.
I just want to let you know right now, your son is definitely fucking. And it's okay. You gave him the condoms. He's good.
If he's using them, let's just count them and make sure he's using them. My mama used to count my brother's condoms. My brother is the youngest. She was like, my baby is cute. So I just got to keep him prepared because I don't need him bringing no babies home.
Hello? That's how I feel.
You got to be real about it.
That's how I feel. I don't need no
She would never say that to me. But
I'll be a deadbeat grandmother at first because I want a blood test.
But wait,
no, not at first. I'm just not gonna be on the pregnancy. I need a blood test. They might be trying to trap my baby.
She always said that. She always said that.
Cute. I need a blood test. And then we'll do whatever.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. I agree with getting tested and making sure the baby is yours.
But that's the thing about having a boy, like you don't really have any say-so. So if somebody gets pregnant and decides to keep a baby, there's nothing that we can really do, but wait for the blood test, like Alicia's saying. So and
then wait for the blood test, and then also hope that, like, I hope when I have a boy, I hope I don't raise a little bitch ass fuck boy. Like, yes. I look at some people's sons today, they're grown ass sons, and be like, wow, your mom and your dad, or one or the other, raised a little fuck boy. You don't hold doors. You don't want to take care of a woman.
Or your kids.
Or your kids. And I just be looking like, who raised you, bro?
It's one of my worst fears too.
It's so funny. We have a segment on our show called "Who Raised You," and that is the biggest fear because our sons at times are complete assholes, both of them. Like they are dicks, and I'm like, who the fuck kids are y'all? Like they are fucking assholes, and that's scary as shit. Her son,
she looking like, no, my son ain't no asshole.
No, he
everybody knows. Her son is D1. My son's the 2.
But do y'all make sure that they know, like, to open a door and, like, this is what you do for a woman? And
that's some things, like, my son definitely does. Like, my son won't let me open the door. And if I open the door, he'll be like, Ma, what are you doing? Like, so certain things he really good at. But there's certain things he's really an asshole with.
But I feel like they're really nice. Like with us, they're good with my mom.
Yeah.
And that's where it ends.
Yeah, with these girls though, he'd be like, Ma, no, she dumb. Like,
I read my son's text messages and I'll read them to Alicia. Like I'll read my son's DMs or his like text messages. I'm like, he is such a fucking asshole. Girls will be like, Antonio, why aren't you texting me back? He's like, I don't want to talk to you. And they're like, okay, let me know when you want to talk again.
I feel like y'all, when your sons get some little real girls, your little girlfriends, I feel like y'all need to start giving them extra lunch money and be like, take care of her lunch this week.
But so funny, we had a whole discussion about that. Did I tell you? So my husband was talking about how he used to buy girls cookies at lunch when he was in like middle school. And my son was like, I ain't about to be buying these girls no cookies so they can use me. I was like, that's right. That's right. But one day I looked at his like his lunch account is like a little bank account. I looked at his account and I was like, why is your account getting low so fast? He's like, I've been buying a bunch of snacks. Oh, so you out here tricking on these hoes. That's what he out here doing.
I mean, look, I ain't mad at him.
Maybe he's trying to win their affection.
You got a pad to play around here in these parts.
It's so funny how girls will be taught. Not at 12. You put that shoulder up. Stay in dress code, little mama. Now, I think it's funny how...
no, they're so grown and their bodies are so much more developed than ours were at their age. Like,
it's the hormones in the chicken.
It's those Tyson chicken strips.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. They have big ass titties. Their asses are huge. I'm like, what the?
But they're not only that, but these girls got weaves and stuff now. Like
they know how to beat their faces.
They look grown.
Yes, they know how to beat their face.
We had like a funny looking stage. Like they don't have to go through that anymore. They know how to do a whole fucking face, put lashes on, fill in their eyebrows. I didn't know how to do all that.
I didn't either. I was definitely ugly.
It was rough.
Were you about to say something?
I forgot.
Okay, so I wanted to ask a married person question because I was watching Sex and the City the other night. I love me some Sex. Don't you just love rewatching Sex and the City? It's always such a great show. It feels like it's new each time you watch it.
I watch it when I get waxed. R.I.P. to being able to get waxed. Ooh. They play it at the wax place. That's all they play is Sex and the City. That just made me sad. Go ahead.
Yeah, it makes me sad too. My vagina needs to be waxed. I have Angela Davis in my lingerie right now.
I don't. Wow. For those of you who may want to DM me later.
I've never had a nappy booty hole. My booty hole is nappy. So I was watching Sex and the City and Carrie Bradshaw was writing about married women, basically like looking at single women like, oh, you know, you haven't accomplished, you know, being married yet, and how when people get married, all of a sudden you really shouldn't or can't be hanging out with your single friends because we're married now and I have the badge of marriage and that's an honor. And now my name is Charlotte and I have an accent and I'm going to behave in a different manner because I am the wife of Winterfell. Yeah, you get it? You get what I'm saying? So I just want to know, what the fuck do y'all be thinking like that?
Y'all does not include me. I don't think I've ever been one of those.
Wait a minute, that switch up was hilarious. What's wrong with y'all?
No, but so it's so funny. So I got married super young. I never really felt like that. Alicia, it's so funny. Alicia originally wasn't, I didn't ask her to be a bridesmaid because she was like, oh, I don't believe in marriage, whatever. And so we had like went to like this local like beach and we were talking about my wedding. All the other girls like my bridesmaids. And I felt like Alicia like wanted to cuss me out. And I was like, well, bitch, you told me you don't believe in marriage. So why the fuck would I have you standing behind me on my wedding day? Like you can
not believe in you gonna be side-eyeing in the photo.
She believes in friendship, bruh. I'm with Alicia on this. That don't got nothing to do with that. She believes in you.
Guys, if you're telling me that I'm so excited about my wedding and getting married and you're telling me you don't believe in marriage.
For me. For her life, bruh.
No, that's never what you said. You said you can believe in marriage for you. That's one thing.
But that's what it is. I cannot believe in it for somebody else.
You said I don't believe in marriage. Period.
But that's for her life.
Wait, did you say that to her in response to her telling you I'm getting married? I'm planning a wedding. I try to help.
Everybody knows this. It was a fun fact about me. Hey, I'm Alicia. I don't believe in marriage, but it's bullshit.
Okay, but anyway.
That was me.
I always knew I was probably going to get married really young. Like we said, I've always been in a relationship. I knew I was going to get married young. But I've never felt that. Most of my friends were single. Alicia was the only person that had children up until probably the past, after I had kids, like still none of our friends had kids until probably about 3-4 years later. But I never treated them like, oh, I can't hang out with y'all. We'll only hang out with married women because most of the married women that I would meet would be like 10 plus years older than me. They weren't my style because they did feel like that. They always would be like, well, we're married. We can't go out. You guys go to the club.
But has your husband ever been like, all right, like you don't need to be hanging out with single women?
No. My husband.
So I will say as a disclaimer though.
What?
I think that because of his career, it's a little different too.
Yeah, I think
that
because
he was a 9 to 5.
What is his career?
My husband is a DJ and he's on the radio here in DC and
okay.
Baltimore.
He's always DJing. His life is nightlife.
Yeah, so like our life has been nightlife, and then 2 years ago we opened up a nightclub. So our life is a lot of nightlife. My husband doesn't have. He may have one married friend, and then one of our girlfriends got married, and they have a relationship. But my husband doesn't have any married friends. So I think I'm more so like you need married friends because I feel like women understand shit a little bit more. Like I go out, I have a good time. I'll stand on tables, I'll buy bottles. Like I am that girl. I haven't changed anything about myself, really. I mean, I'm never going to be disrespectful to my husband.
I was just about to say, have you ever cheated?
No, I've never cheated. I'm like, I always say
even if she did,
right?
she
If I did,
if you did, I was gonna know. Even if you lied, I can look at gestures and be like, that bitch lying.
Let me tell you what's so funny is because since my husband does work on the
Medina's trying to break up a merge. Oh yeah.
It's like in the radio and in the clubs all the time. Like, of course, he has like girls send him like weird stuff. The other day, I was in his DMs. I was reading DMs and shit. And it was like weird. And I told him, I was like, well, people only like you because you're this. I'm like, bitch, I've been in the supermarket and reaching for my hamburgers. And people are like, ma'am, please let me buy your hamburgers for you. And I'm like, bitch, so you don't ever want to do that with me because we can go, bitch. If you want to go, we can go. But yeah, I've never been that snooty like wife type that felt like, oh, you guys aren't married. I look down on you.
So Kiki, then let me ask you, have you ever, I have personally felt that vibe from friends that got married. There's like this shift that happens. And maybe it's me that does it internally, but I really don't think that that's what it is. There's like this shift that happens where you can either tell that their husband doesn't want them really hanging out with single people, or there's just like this shift that happens where it's like, oh, okay, like, not that I get that, like, there are certain things you aren't going to be doing. Obviously, you're not going to be my wingman unless you just really are that bitch and you know you can be the wingman and not cheat. But there's sometimes a shift that happens when...
the wingman is a perfect thing for a married friend. You get them for me.
So. Right. But so there's sometimes this thing that happens where married people kind of think that, like, well, I'm married now and I can't do this. And I'd be like, bruh, we're still friends.
We haven't...
I don't know because I only have I have two, but one of my best friends is married. Ain't nothing changed but the day of the week. Okay, it's still the same. We will all go out together, and I actually like that she's married now. I feel like her husband really steps up, and he likes to make sure all of the friends are good. This is a great husband, you guys. Like a community husband without the sex part, but he looks out for everybody. He gonna make sure everybody's good. Kiara, you good? Medina, you good? Or whoever is there, he always does that. We can all go out and party together. The night before they got married, both the bridal party and the groom's party, well, the whole bridal party went out. We got fucked up. My knees busted, and we still made it to the wedding, and we got fucked up again, and it was great. Like, they're fun, and I've never felt like anything
left out when you're with them.
Even I can go to Dallas, and they'll be like, "Oh, you can stay with me if you want." And I'm like, "Well, are you sure?" I would never ask. I'm like, "Well, y'all are married. I don't want to be infiltrating, like coming in all hours of the night or whatever, overstaying my welcome." But it's never been like that. Now, maybe some more of my friends will finally get married, so I can see what you're talking about. I've heard about it, but I've not experienced it. But I also do know people who will say, they're not my friends, so it don't matter, but they will say they don't like hanging out with single people. They want to keep it separate. And that kind of sucks because as long as the single people are respectful, what's the issue?
What's the issue?
I think it's people more so, Medina, that you're talking about, that people they're not marrying the right people for them. Because I
think they'd be marrying cheaters. And that's just it.
Because I feel like if you marry the right person for you, they're not going to change much about what you do. Of course, some things are going to change because you have a husband at home. Like you might have to check in or whatever, or go home a little earlier sometimes or whatever. But for the most part, if you should be like who you were before, if you have to do all this stuff and act like you're this and that, and a lot of times those people are insecure in those relationships that they have. And that's why they acting like that.
And their relationship isn't
right
really
what they make it seem.
So, I mean, how do you feel about me being like a married friend? Because I feel like you're like Kiki.
Yeah, I don't feel no way.
My husband is always going to.
I have a room upstairs. I'm like, I don't feel no way.
I can't wait till they buy a house because I know I'm gonna have one too.
It's a little bit more fun. Like my husband will always make sure we're good. Like make sure we got our bottle money. Make sure we're having fun.
Yeah.
He wants to make sure everybody's safe and have a good time. Like he's never like, y'all don't need to be going out doing this. Sometimes we do push it and we like, okay, we leave the club. Then we like, we go into the after.
And then we both get cussed out.
And then he be like, bitch, bring your ass home. If
Do you ever feel the need as a married woman to just know that you still got it and you just want to give your number? You just want to get pulled one time and give your number out and be like, a bitch still got it.
I remember having a phase and I remember saying like, damn, I don't remember the last time somebody like tried to talk to me or like holler at me. And then I went out the next day and it was like 5 motherfuckers. I was like, oh. Thank you, no married, but thank you.
I will say
I would have been flashing that beautiful ring. I keep staring at it every time it hits the screen. I'm
like, I didn't see it. How could you not? Can you put it in the camera? Put it in the camera.
For 14 years.
Put it a little closer.
Absolutely fabulous.
Can you put it a little closer? I can't see it. Oh, you got a rock with ice. Winter is coming. Good God. You sure y'all don't want to swing? How come?
It's so funny because we talked about this on our show before. So funny. There was a rumor in like Baltimore, about hometown, that Alicia was my husband and I's girlfriend.
And it comes from him playing too much, saying stuff like he says stuff like publicly, like, yeah, my wife's girlfriend here and stuff like that. Like stop because people run with it, and then it doesn't help. We act gay a lot of times. So
have y'all ever had sex?
No.
Oh.
Have y'all ever kissed?
No.
I dare y'all to kiss friend. I'm playing. I'm playing. We got porn. I'm about to make y'all do some porn real quick.
We got a game over there.
Wait, let me guess.
Yeah, you know.
I know you can.
Have y'all ever been with women before?
Shut up. Listen to Kiki.
Listen to Kiki.
Yeah, I said, have y'all ever been with women before? Not each other, but other women.
So Alicia has.
I have.
I am like my husband always says like I'm the straightest person.
She's the straightest gay figure
I'm
ever.
So fake gay.
She loves slapping asses.
I can't lick nobody.
Rub it all on people.
Alicia, what capacity have you been with a woman? Like, because I never really counted if you didn't eat no pussy. Like, I hate when bitches are like, I was with a girl and like.
What if they were scissoring? You don't think?
Oh my God!
I need you to go head first in my vagina.
Pussy, technically.
So you ain't really never been with no bitch.
I had a threesome.
Okay, but you ain't eat her pussy.
Was it 3 girls or a guy, you and another girl?
And another girl.
Look at my titties.
Yeah, guy and another girl. Do you think a threesome is with? This is a debate, I guess. I don't consider a threesome 2 guys and a girl. I feel like that's a train.
I feel like it's a train too. We have this argument all the time. I think it's a train. Okay. She thinks it's a threesome.
I think it's a threesome. There's some people it's a threesome.
Yeah.
I think it's a train. Because I'll tell you why. Because I think if everybody is having sex together, it's a unit, it's a threesome. Now, if I let somebody fuck me and then he's done, he don't participate no more, and then the next nigga fucks me, okay, that's a train.
Okay, I can see that.
But if we're all doing stuff together simultaneously, that's a threesome. I really think that people just feel like it makes them a little bit gay or something, and that's why they don't want to call it a threesome. It's they have issues with that. It's the same thing.
So if a guy, you sucking a guy dick and another guy hit you from the back, that's a
threesome. Yes.
That's a threesome.
That's a threesome. If I suck a guy's dick and then he goes to the bathroom and the next one is fucking me from behind, that's a train.
But you know what?
See, and I look at it differently just because, like, I think it's a train because it's like, I'm literally, what do you call the person that drives the train?
The conductor.
I am doing all the work. Like, they're driving me. I got my motor on my mouth working and my motor on my vagina.
It sounds like you're a middle train. And it sounds like whoever is making the decisions on who's doing what
it's just
is the conductor.
I think when it's with 2 women and a man, it's like, there's like equal amounts of work as opposed to like when it's because it's like, okay, so if it's 2
both of us, he has that stamina to do that.
Well, no, it's like one girl can be like eating my pussy and I'm sucking his dick, and it's not like there's two jobs on one person. With two women and with two guys and a girl, it's like the bitch is doing all the fucking work unless these niggas is fucking each other also.
No, you could also be laying down getting your pussy ate.
And
another one, somebody else's dick. And you don't have to. That's one person. It's the same thing.
That's a lot of work. And maybe I'm thinking of like sucking dick is like that's a lot of work in itself. I can't suck dick and get fucked.
And then what about the ones that be like? What about the ones that be like taking it in the Virginia and the ass at the same time? Like what the fuck?
So that's what I'm saying. It's a whole. This is a job.
It doesn't matter how much work it is to me. It's a threesome.
When I watch those videos, I think that's a little gay because if a nigga's in your pussy and he's in your
their nuts are touching,
their balls are like clapping and hitting each other. That feels good to them. Okay, so
doesn't make them gay. But anyway,
the balls are slapping. You are getting enjoyment out of it.
Ashley, I want you and your husband to have a threesome, and I want y'all to pick me.
I will tell you, Medina, if I ever decide to have a threesome, I know who I'm calling.
Okay, and I follow all the rules. I won't try to steal your husband. I promise.
So funny. When you guys came to DC for your... I did. Just drink it. When you guys came to DC for your live show, we came.
No, you didn't.
We didn't have a live show in DC.
You have us confused.
Oh, I thought you did.
That might have been horrible decisions.
No, we bought tickets for the Atlanta show, remember?
Right. We bought tickets for the Atlanta show.
What show did you go to?
Yeah, because we weren't able to come. Yes, that's what happened.
Something came out with your kids, and
that's why
that's what she's thinking.
That's the annoying shit about having children. They'd be like, you have plans, and then they get sick and shit, and
then they need you.
Right, and then they need you, and you're like, I don't want to be your mother.
So I had a whole other half of sections. I don't even know if we have time to like get to it. I don't feel like we do. We'll save that for another day. We are going to move on to Indecisive Diane. And then when we come back, you ladies are going to help us with some advice. And then after advice, you ladies are going to share some personal cocktails with our listeners and us. I'm excited to hear.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? What do you want?
Okay, Diane, what cute little date idea do you have for us during the quarantine, girl? Because we still in it.
Hey, ladies, it's me, Indecisive Diane, and I know it's probably really rough for you out there, especially if you live with your husband, your boyfriend, you have a bunch of kids, and everyone's just stuck together forever. Like, who really thought that our vows would actually mean we stick here together through thick and thin? It's like, whoa, we're really testing our boundaries here.
Okay, girl, what's the idea?
So listen, I want you to, this is really for people who don't live alone. Sorry, all you singles. But if you have a family, you have children, you need to, everyone's brain still needs to be working. Don't just wake up and play video games or wake up and watch television. Order a puzzle. I would love to see everyone go on Amazon right now, order a puzzle, and have a family puzzle. You can even make a custom puzzle. Maybe you need some dick and you haven't been getting it. Go get a custom puzzle of a penis. Okay, girl, I'm pretty sure they don't have that. Well, you never know unless you try. Have a great night, ladies. Bye. Bye, Diane.
Okay, and now we're back from Indecisive Diane, and it is time for the advice. Remember, if you want to ask us or any of our special guests some questions, you can send it to us at askcocktails.atl@gmail.com. Remember to only send advice there.
I have one pulled up.
We may just read it on the show.
Ooh. So I have the one that I have pulled up is quarantine heartache. You know I love a good heartache story, Kiki, because my heart stays getting stomped on and drop kicked.
It does.
It does. But I always come back. Don't, right?
Sometimes it takes a while. Maybe one of them is a work in progress. You haven't made it to the comeback part.
Okay. So they said, hey, ladies, How do y'all deal with getting over an ex of 4 years that keeps trying to reach out to you, but is so inconsistent? I'm 26 years old and broke up with him at the end of January because I was unhappy and didn't see happiness in my future with him. He's a good man, but not for me. I found peace and was talking to other guys, but I let him creep back into my life about a month ago. And now my dumb ass is over here sad and feeling lonely during quarantine. Bitch, I understand because I'm right there with you. He'll blow me up with texts and even email me. He emailed me one week and then he'll say nothing the next week. I'm sick of it. And I want to block his black ass because I know I left for a reason. But then I fear that if I block his black ass, that it'll be done forever. When I tell you I know that feeling.
Right. What the fuck?
Because you be trying it like, I'm strong, but you be like, I'm not that strong. Part of me is like, block him, and if it's meant to be, it'll be. Because if a man truly wants you, this is like a Tyler Perry movie, he will find a way to reach you, bitch. But then part of me is like, just delete his number. Are you a Libra? And don't respond if he texts you. I don't know what hurts more. The thought of blocking him and missing his text, or the thought of not blocking him and not receiving any text. I'm about to cry. I know this is silly. It's not silly, bitch. It's not, because I be going through this. And y'all are probably like, just get over it, nigga. Trust me. I want to. And I know that I can. But this is the hard part. You start moving on and then you slip up and let that nigga into your life again and you're back to square one. Yep, because you was drunk that one night. And
or horny.
Yep, hit it up. You called him. You was sending him poems and songs on Tidal. Any advice? I've been talking to other men, but none truly have my attention. I know this quarantine shit isn't helping at all. I wonder if he's just trying to keep the communication open to make sure he still has access. How do you get over a heartbreak when you're the one who ended the relationship? Thanks, ladies.
Well, girl, I want to go first because I have been the girl that you're trying to get us to tell you to be, which is to not block him and just see what happens. But as somebody who has constantly allowed people to stay in my life for way too long, let me tell you that that's not what you want to do. It's not going to turn out good. It's not going to end well. Even when they come back into your life and they show you that they've made the changes that you had been wanting them to make, they will show their ass once again, have you cuss them out on a bar at a California pizza kitchen or something, and it's just going to be a hot ghetto mess. And that's not what you want for your own life. You need to go ahead and block him. Whoever, she ended the relationship, I think. Don't matter who ended it.
In January.
But, okay, so you ended it. Keep the door closed. The door is closed, like Nene said, because if he meant well, he would do right. And if he really wants to get in touch with you, he will buy one of those planes that writes messages in the sky on your way to work when we get out of this mess. If he don't do that, girl, he don't deserve you. And even when he does keep the number blocked, he still needs to find a carrier pigeon to send you a scroll with a message.
This is not Game of Thrones.
But that's my point. There's nothing he can do to make him deserve you. He fucked up already. Sometimes niggas just need to sit back and look at the fact that they missed out on a good thing, even if they want it later. Just like sometimes you may look at somebody that you broke up with, like him or someone else, and it didn't work out and you miss them. It wasn't meant to be. Okay. He's inconsistent. Don't welcome that back.
Can I tag in real quick?
Go ahead, I'm done.
I got to tag.
Oh.
So I think it's so great. This is the great thing about having all these different personalities on the show and different things. So, okay. Opinions. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay. So I am in love with someone who I've had this same scenario multiple times, but the most recent one, I refer to him as 6'8" Bae. He broke up with me on my fucking birthday, right after our live show in Dallas. It was very traumatic. I planned a surprise birthday dinner for me, and I still had to go to it because I didn't want to cancel it. So I love him. He loves me. He did me dirty. Yes, he did. I want to be with him. I sure do. Probably shouldn't have said all that right now, but I did because I'm drunk. And so what I want to say is, it is you had this happen in January. You do have to block him from your life for a certain amount of time. I am the bitch that gets it. I'm not the bitch that's like, as long as you ain't go upside my head or do some real disrespectful shit, like some stuff that's just like unforgivable. If there was just some normal relationship shit that happened, maybe he lied, maybe he cheated, like I am all about forgiving and getting over things. However, a part of what Kiki said, I do agree with. The nigga gotta work for it though. You need to block him for a moment. This just happened in January, bitch. You can't unblock his ass until like at least 6 or 7 or 8 months. Like you gotta make him know that like you're not playing even though you are playing. It's very tricky. Like I blocked 6'8" Bay since September when he did this shit on my birthday and I got back and he sent me home on Spirit. I blocked him and I just unblocked him maybe like 4 days ago. And the crazy thing is when I unblocked him, I saw that he then blocked me, right? He blocked me and I was like, oh nigga, you blocked me because you kept checking, seeing if but then I checked yesterday and he unblocked me now. So now what I know is he's been going back to check my page to see if I unblocked him and he sees that I unblocked him. So now it's like, he loves me still. So what I want to tell you is keep the hope alive. And that's my advice. If that nigga didn't go upside your head, if he went upside your head, then
he's inconsistent.
He is, but he might just be going through something. A career change. Fucking shit. Maybe it's some shit. Maybe he just got out of a divorce.
The quarantine, but okay. I think you was thinking about you.
Your situation is different.
Ashley and Alicia, do you have any advice for this bitch?
Yeah, I do. I feel like he's inconsistent, and if he really wants her, he will, like, it's cliche, but he'll show her. And I feel like a little block ain't hurt nobody. Y'all know I'm quick to block. But I will say this: my more mature years, I'm trying to have a conversation before I block now. I slip up sometimes and still do it, but I think there needs to be a conversation had. Say, hey, look, I feel like you're inconsistent. This is what I feel. Instead of writing y'all a letter, she should write the damn letter out her mouth to his ass and say, this is what I need from you in order for us to move forward. If you feel like you can't do that, then let's like cut it off. And
welcome to the block party.
He's probably going to be honest and be like, look, I can't give you that because of whatever. And then block him.
She's 26. That nigga not going to say nothing.
Right. And she's young. But I do think she's like Kiki. I think like
she didn't say.
Oh. Yeah, we don't know how old he is, but like Kiki said, I think that, you need to leave him on block for a little while. Make his ass sweat.
Make him work.
Yeah, make him work for it. I think that's the problem with people. We forgive men so often. And
that sounds so great when we as women say make him work. But do you ever think about how hard you really, in your personal life, how hard do you make niggas work? Let's be honest.
Sometimes I have. It's rare, but it's happened.
What's the workload though? What's the workload?
But I feel like sometimes women make it so easy for men so that we have to make them work. We want to be available when they call and all those things. What are they doing for us? Like we going out and get waxing, hair done, nails done, shit. The fuck are they doing for us?
So I mean, for example, my block list is very long. I got a guy still to this day, 10 years in, he calls me from other numbers or blocks his number to bust through my block.
Exactly. If he really want to get through the block, he will.
Even little shit like that. Like, but I mean, we've all been this girl before. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell like we weren't this girl before. I've been that girl. Like, I've talked to somebody for 7 years before on and off that I knew wasn't no good for me. And it's like, sometimes it just takes you like getting to that point where you're like, look, I don't want to, like literally I woke up one day and was like, I don't want to talk to them no more. So I'm just going to block them.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So, I mean, it takes that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
good luck to you, girl. I hope that you make the decision that's going to end up making you happy and not crying and shit.
I really do too. And if you do gotta cry, I feel like a good song to cry to is Beyonce "Best Thing You Never Had."
He probably had her though, but yeah.
Good song to cry to.
Irreplaceable. Okay, Beyonce has plenty for you.
Beyonce has a bunch of cry songs.
Okay, this is the next advice letter. It says, "Hi ladies, so this quarantine has me in deep research mode because I may have a man/summer fling or friend with a huge benefit after this. I've been talking to this guy who I've known from my gym for about 8 years. Although we've known each other, we just started learning about each other's lives over quarantine. We're getting deep. We've chatted about loss, family, goals, etc. But when we finally got to the sex, it's been days of discussions and I'm constantly wet. He's a nice guy, also a freak. I'm a little more vanilla, y'all. I'm used to boring relationship sex, and I go on these dry celibacy spells for months and even years. Good golly, Miss Mom.
Years.
The last time I had sex 5 months ago with an old friends with benefits, it was bland and painful. So I've retreated.
That's
painful.
That's a flavor.
So I've retreated from vanilla sex again. I've retreated from sex again. Sorry, slip. Okay, this guy though knows what the fuck he wants, and that really turns me on. I get wet from his texts, and he's not even sexting. You just horny, sis.
He just saying, "Hey, how you doing today?"
Right. All of a sudden,
that bitch squirting.
We've gone on a date before, and he came to my party right before shutdown. I felt the chemistry after feeling some electricity at the bar when he'd slightly stroked my thighs. That might have been static shock, but okay. He's not overwhelming with it and understands that I'm not as experienced. But ladies, I think he really wants me, and we may have sex after this is over. I'm scared, y'all. Like, I am definitely intimidated by this guy and what he wants. He says he likes to please and be pleased. That's nice to hear. I've only given a blowjob a handful of times.
Only a handful? What are we, 12?
She says she's vanilla. I haven't done anything freaky in bed. It's crazy. I haven't done anything freaky in bed, but I do have fantasies and I know it's in me. How do I prepare for such escapades while in quarantine? How did you guys learn how to be totally free in bed? And any tips to look sexy or to pleasure an experienced man? I want him, y'all, but I'm intimidated. Please help a sister out. I'm 31 and yet to experience some mind-blowing sex. Okay. I want to unleash my inner freak. Thanks, Kiki and Medina. Stay safe, ladies.
So here's what I'll answer first. Okay. How do you feel sexy? Well, this is what you want to do.
Did you practice this?
Because I'm ready.
The fuck? Yes.
So I want you to, this is what I want you to do, bitch. And this is the perfect time to do this during quarantine. How do you feel sexy? As a woman, there are so many things you can do to just like alone make yourself feel sexy. And I'm telling you this from like experience. Like I do this shit on my own. Sometimes I will take a shower. I'll have a glass of wine before I get in the shower. And this could be if I'm not going to go meet a nigga and fuck him or if I am. I'll get a shower and then I'll wash my bathtub and then I'll fill the bathtub up with bubbles. And then I sit in the bathtub with my clean body. I grab my glass of wine. I grab my my little weed pen, take a couple puffs, and it puts me in like a mood of like, wow, like you look good. And I have this little mirror that I keep next to my tub. And I'll look at it every now and again without my makeup because sometimes you got to reassure yourself that without makeup, you look good. And I'll get out. I'll spray myself with Bond. I like Bond No. 9. That's my perfume of choice. I'll spray it. And I just treat myself like a lady, like a old classic lady. Like my person is Marilyn Monroe. And I'll spray a couple puffs. Mm-hmm. I do my makeup like I've never done it before. I add all the layers. I put on lashes. I curl my hair. I toss it. And this can sometimes...
This was before the bathtub?
This is after okay. I've showered and taken a bubble bath, because when you shower and then take a bubble bath and get up with the bubble still on you and spray your perfume right on, it all just sticks. You got that lingering smell. Put some lotion on. Make yourself feel sexy. Do what your thing is to make you feel sexy. I do this sometimes when I'm not gonna meet a nigga, but when I do it when I'm about to meet a nigga, I know that he is gonna fucking wanna get me pregnant. And so do that. give yourself some good, like if your hair is out and stuff, curl it, make it look sexy, do your makeup how you love it, make sure it's good. If you need to watch a YouTube video, watch it. I've done that too. I'm like, first date makeup, first date contour. Just look it up. They got a video for you. Watch it, do your makeup, curl your hair, and bitch, put your shoes on, put on a good ass motherfucking sexy ass outfit, show them thighs. And go out there and be your best self. I don't know you, but my best self is a mixture of funny and sexy. So like, figure out what your best self is and go out there and just fucking present it to that nigga. It's like a interview, but like you're in control. You're the boss and the interviewee. Who's the person that's going to interviewee? Yeah. You gotta really just like talk yourself up. I like to play Beyonce or Drake or a mixture of both. I got a playlist. I got a bad bitch playlist that puts me in the mind frame of like, nigga, who the fuck are you? Even if you don't fuck with me, I'll fuck with me and I'll go home and fuck my pussy. So you gotta get in your mind. Okay.
Anybody else?
Sorry, you guys.
Is that what you're gonna do tonight?
Anybody else have some advice for her?
I'm a bath queen. I take like 2-3 hour baths every night. And before, when my husband, like he's usually at clubs, so what I would take my bath and I would put I would get drunk in the tub and I would put like whatever I think the sexiest song is. And I would just be in the mirror like before he gets home. So by the time he gets home, I'm like, damn, bitch, hey, yes.
Get them titties. Are they real? Are those real?
And she wanted threesome, Medina. She wanted
threesome. Medina would be my choice.
Are they real? Your breasts?
No, they're 5 years old. 6 years old?
5, I think.
They'll be 5. They'll be 5 this year.
Kiki, do you have any advice for our friend that wrote in our letter? Like I
do. Okay, so from all of that, you still sound like you really don't have that much confidence in your sex game because you haven't had a ton of experiences, right? Now, what I did as a young girl was read Cosmo magazine. That gave me my start, but that was, 20 years ago almost. Maybe more like 10, sorry. 10, 15, but that was a while ago. So I would read that, listen to us, listen to other shows, listen to the things that we say that we like and we do. Play with your pussy some, whether it's in the shower, the bathtub, or whatever, your bed, wherever. Play with it a little bit. See what you kind of like. And then also, do not be afraid, especially if this is an experienced man, to tell him, listen, I want to be honest with you. I really don't have a ton of experience with good sex. Never really had great sex. Tell him that. That's going to get him excited because it's going to take the pressure off of him to walk the walk that he was talking to you through those text messages and these phone calls and everything. And then, just ask him, I really don't know how to like suck your dick like you want me to. Can you teach me? He's going to like that because nobody's going to be afraid anymore to give direction, take direction, whatever. And he'll tell you. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to do the shit, but you worry about that when you get there, girl. We're going to be in quarantine for a long time.
We are.
You can also order a dildo and practice. There's lots of online demonstrations and things, but just don't worry about it being good. Worry about his response in that moment. And if he doesn't like it, just be open to letting him tell you. And also let him know if it hurts, don't sit through painful sex ever again in your life. If it hurts, tell him it hurts. If you don't like it, tell him. And stop being scared. Most people are not going to get in there and be a fucking porn star. That's not going to happen. And also get you some sheet orgasms to use my code.
What's your code?
Kiki said
And I would say, like confidence is key. So, like, if you feel confident, feel good about yourself. So, like Medina said, do whatever makes you feel good. If it's not a bubble bath, do whatever that thing is that makes you feel good. If it's doing your makeup, if it's getting a fresh manicure, whatever, do that thing. Make sure that you're at your highest level of confidence. And then just, go for it. And like Kiki said, and that can be a really fucking good turn on. You be like, teach me how you want me to suck your dick, daddy. He would love that. Wait a minute. His nuts about to explode.
And something that I'm learning is even when you think you look or sound stupid, the niggas don't think that. They don't think you look
already
stupid. Right. Well, that's not where I was going. That's not where I was going.
That wasn't where you was going, but that was where we was going. We see each other.
I don't know how to dance, right? I don't know how to really clap my ass, but I've really been working on it.
I saw you online.
I've been working on it. And so like the nigga that ghosted me, I was doing that type of shit for him before he ghosted me. And I was clapping my ass and it looked like I was having a seizure in my mind. But the nigga didn't think that. He thought that I knew what I was doing. So you might think you sound or look stupid, bitch. You don't. These niggas ain't getting none of this. So do what you need to do.
It's all about confidence. If you believe that you working that shit, everybody else will believe it.
Come on, that sounds like something Maya Angelou would say. Come on.
And oil your body up real good. Be soft. That's the least you could do with no skills.
So
and not a pedicure since they're all closed.
Honestly, a little round out at the top and I'd be good. My bottom is really full. So when I bend over backwards, girl, and this booty big.
You got to know what you're working with. All right.
If I want fuck, I'm gon' fuck 'em. But if he ain't got a buck, I won't cuff 'em. Spend 100 on me, it ain't nothing. Run a double D, so stuffin'. Back to the point. Is it some cash in this place? If it is, I'll probably stick the stats in your face, turn around. Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe.
Cocktail time.
It's cocktail time. And the great thing about cocktail time is we get to pick who goes first.
Oh. Well, I figure since we have two guests, they should just do cocktails and we don't.
Yeah.
Because I know you gonna read it.
Let me fill my drink.
We quarantine with no Peen. You know what I mean? Wow. So whoever wants to go first between you two, share your cocktail. And we like details, nigga.
Oh my God. I've been trying to think of like the most like embarrassing thing that has ever happened like with me and my husband.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, like that's embarrassing.
It doesn't have to be embarrassing. I know if you listen to the show, we get embarrassed. But if you get romanticized,
you can't be advertising her husband dick.
We tell all our business too.
Yeah, you can't be advertising. Tell the embarrassing.
So we have this like sushi spot by our house that everybody likes to go to out here.
What's it called?
It's called Grace's.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to the sushi spot all the time, and I just was eating sushi that night. But you know, at those kind of restaurants, they just give you like all these like sugary drinks. So when they give you the sugary drink, I'm always like, oh, give me 2 shots to put in my drink, whatever. So I'm only eating fucking sushi and miso soup, which is nothing. By the time we get home, I'm fucked up. So I'm like, yes, come on, it's time to fuck. Yeah. Right?
Ooh, your whole titty out. Your whole titty bust out.
All my titties is always out.
I'll fix it. Don't worry about it.
So anyway, like I remember, and I'm like pulling my husband's clothes off, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna.
Just like right now.
I'm gonna just. She's really living this. I'm gonna suck your dick so good, right? And then my stomach was like. I was like, no, I'm about to suck his dick. And as soon as I'm about to like suck his dick, I like throw up everywhere.
Oh, his dick?
Yes, and it's like sushi, raw fish, and rice just throwing up. It was so fucking disgusting. But I had grabbed a towel and I was like, it's fine.
You still wanted to eat the dick?
No, I just want to fuck it this morning. I can't suck the throw up dick now.
That's nasty.
But that was like one of our most funny moments in Greece. This was like a couple months ago, probably like the end of last year.
Oh, you weren't even. I have thrown up on a lot of dicks. Alicia,
Mom, that shit and fuck that shit up.
Yeah, I throw up. I have most of when I throw up on dicks though, niggas think it's sexy. Every dick that I've thrown up on, they think that it is very sexy.
The moment, what'd you say?
Every dick that I have thrown up on, they think that it is very sexy, and they're just like, I start to get embarrassed, and I feel bad that I couldn't hold the throw up in, and they're just like, no, just move it to the side and keep going.
Like a gag throw up, or is it like a full like?
Oh no, it's a full thrown like up. It's a full thrown up. It's a full thrown, like all of the food that I ate is on your dick.
And it got out of your mouth.
And snot is coming out of my nose.
Mine came out, it was on him, it was on the bed, it was on the carpet. And
I was in the car, bitch. Every time I've thrown up on a dick, it was in a car.
I was in the bed.
Really?
But I caught it in my mouth and I just let these cheeks be like, and I sucked it back up and swallowed it.
I swallowed my throat.
Like I always do.
Savage. Classic bougie ratchet. Throw up in my cheeks, bitch. I'm bad. What? I got throw up in my cheeks.
So yeah, I mean, I admit that. I did swallow some throw up on a dick before.
Every now and again, you got to swallow some throw up.
It was like it came up and it was a little lumpy and I swallowed it down. It was nasty.
Is this your cocktail?
No.
Hey, what's your cocktail?
It's so good. My husband brings it up all the time. Like whenever I eat sushi, he brings it up. Like
she throws up on the
dick. Don't get too fucked and give me sushi dick.
Yes,
sushi dick.
That's the name of the episode.
Well, I have a funny one. Okay. So actually, it's really quite funny because so I was out one night. It's a random night. I met my girlfriend Thea Medina that you know of, Thea. So I met up with her and one of her girlfriends. So we're out. At this point, it's like already after hours. I was out drinking somewhere else before I met them or whatever. So then I see this mutual guy friend that we both know while we're out. And he has a friend with him. So we all start hanging out as a group. So now we're hanging out as a group, whatever. So we're leaving. It's probably like 3:00 in the morning now, right? We're leaving the place that we're at. And as we're walking out the door, this guy that I used to talk to that I fucking blocked with no explanation, because one day I felt like he was trying to stay at my house too long, and I was like, that's a homeless nigga type thing, and I blocked him, right? So, because I'm like, what the fuck you at my house for so long for? Like, leave. So anyway, he was coming in the door, and I told the guy friend, like, pretend like I'm your girl, because I don't want him to say anything to me, right? So he's like, all right, he grabs my arm, whatever. The guy says something anyway. Then it's like a whole ordeal. He says something to me, and I'm like, I'm with my guy. The dude is like, yo, what you doing? It's my girl, whatever. He goes like, I know her since she was 15. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, let's get out of here, right? So we leave out. He walks me to my car because of this whole incident, right? So we walk to my car. He gets in my car with me. So I'm like, all right, well, where's your car? He's like, I rode with my friend. I said, okay, we'll call him, see where he's at. He calls his friend. His friend left with Thea's friend. Just left him. So I'm like, well, what are you going to do? He's like, well, can you drive me home? I drive him home, whatever, because now I feel entitled because I'm like, well, you saved me from the black guy, whatever. I drive him home, and against my better judgment, I went into his house, right? And I was like, I just need a nap because now it's like 4:00.
Oh, you Kiki.
I love to take a little nap.
Before I get back on the road. I've been drinking all night. So I was like, I need a little nap so I get back on the road. Taking my little nap. I wake up, I'm getting some head, right? The head was good. Okay.
The what was good?
Head.
Oh. So you said the hip was good. And I was like, you got bad hips? Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I've gotten bad head before. I got an aggressive head before.
I thought you said hip. But you said head. It's just an accent.
Oh.
That's the
right. That's that Baltimore.
That's that Baltimore. I'm like, wait.
I'm fluent. I understood.
Computer.
Just give me oral sex when I woke up. And it was quite scrumptious. Okay. Yes. So then it led to us fucking. The dick was so trash.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that.
It was so fucking trash that, of course, he fell asleep right after because my pussy good. So he fell asleep right after, and I left.
Bitch.
I didn't wake him the fuck up. I ain't say shit. I said, why the fuck I do this? I left, right? I left. I'm driving. I'm halfway home, right? 40-minute drive. I'm halfway home.
40 minutes? Like you took a nigga 40 minutes?
There's 40 minutes out there, girl.
He was a mutual acquaintance. It wasn't like that at all. And I felt bad because I'm like, damn, her friend, look, me talking shit. Her friend didn't hold out. It took you ride. I got to take you home. So anyway, who knew I was the hoe too? So anyway, I'm driving home halfway home. And he calls me. He's like, are you good? You didn't even say you was leaving, whatever. I said, yeah, I'm good. When we got off the phone, I blocked him. And I've never talked to him again. because I just didn't want any reminder of what
Alicia,
I did.
you're mean. I really actually think you're mean. She is. She's a bitch. Alicia.
Wait a minute now.
Alicia, you are a bitch.
I shouldn't have did it.
Oh my God.
You just shouldn't have done it.
Oh my
That's
God.
all.
I'm trading Medina. I am well, now we can't have sex because I'm trading you in for Alicia.
Wow, I'm not mean.
She is.
But
All the time she's fucking mean shit.
I mean, because with that situation, I'm just like, bruh, like you just cut the nigga off. Like,
well, if it was only sex and the sex wasn't good, what does she need to keep him around for?
You don't know what else he had to offer.
She wasn't interested, so why entertain it?
The man, like he ain't even called you yet.
I don't want a reminder. I don't have calling my phone and be like, hey.
It might have been that bad, y'all. It might have been painful sex, like Vanilla Sex Girl said. It was just bad. I get it. Sometimes you just
they call it vanilla sex. We call it white paint.
Yeah,
white paint.
White paint dry.
Watch your white paint dry.
Like
it's fucking white paint.
Yeah, but Alicia, you real savage.
That's what they said. She always said she like, yo, that shit was savage. So somebody called her apparently that knows the guy. It was like trying to get a phone number or something for me. I'm like, same number, bitch. You just blocked. Yeah,
I'm here for it, Alicia.
I'm never going to be able to marry her off ever.
No,
she don't believe in marriage, so it's fine.
No, she does. I
do now. I changed my mind now. I do now.
Well, good luck, girl.
Look at Kiki. Oh, lost a partner.
No, I do believe in marriage. I just don't want to have children.
Right.
It's the kids for me. No, I want to get married. I want to have a fabulous wedding. I don't mind getting married a few times. I would like for it to be once. But, shit don't work out. We can pull the plug. I'm not afraid to start over, I'm already old. I'm probably going to catch somebody who was married before.
Yeah.
I would never get married again. I don't think.
I don't think you would either. You have had your husband since high school.
Right.
I think you're good.
If I ever got divorced, I would never get married again. Like, I don't think
Yeah, I know. I think you're good, Ashley. I think you're really solid in your marriage. And
you're solid. If you ever meet someone,
take it,
lock it in. I got you. I mean, Medina, I got you.
I think you're good.
Okay, so Fun Time Moms. When do your episodes drop and where are they so that the listeners can know? And then tell us your Instagrams and everything so that we can wrap up. And then, that's it, I guess.
So on Mondays, we have new episodes and our Instagram is at Funtime Moms. So that's moms with an S at the end because some people mix that up. And you can find our podcast on Apple, Google, Pandora, like wherever you listen to your favorite podcast at, pretty much, and on our website at funtimemoms.com, of course. And
right now, during quarantine, we are doing Zoom parties every Wednesday with our listeners. Yes, so fun. So we're having one tomorrow. Well, this episode, I don't know if it'll be up yet. But we have had a pajama party, a costume party.
So we love themes. We're theme girls. I think we told you that before.
Alicia's birthday is Halloween. My birthday's
it.
days before, so we love a costume.
Send us the invite for
What's next week's theme?
Yeah, send us the invite for tomorrow's tomorrow's party and next week.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's is leather and lace.
Yeah, tomorrow's is leather and lace. And then we haven't picked next week yet.
I can
Last
tomorrow.
week we had pajamas.
Maybe we should look at
Yeah.
Give us a theme. Give us a theme right now.
What you doing? You
Maybe
have
we
a
have a
40?
special cocktails wine. And
Yeah,
you
that
pick
would
a
be
theme.
fun next week. Give us a theme.
I can't do it next week. I won't be there.
Just ask what he's doing next week.
We have
Medina
a
asked
fellow
Medina-
podcaster whose birthday it is. So we won't come next week, but we're going to try to come tomorrow.
Yeah, Medina asked about next week, but I can't come. I can come tomorrow. I was just saying no to the episode being up.
Be sexy. Yeah.
Leather and lace. I might rewear this, but I got a leather jacket I can put on. Well, this got leather. I think my nipple has been out this entire time. I hope YouTube don't flag this video.
So ladies, let everybody know where they can find you individually and your show.
They did the show.
Yeah, so you guys can follow us together at Funtime Moms and me individually at Ashley Brittany, ASHLEY,
And Alicia Chris, that's Alicia spelled the right way, like Alicia Keys, and KRYSS.
Thank you guys so much for coming on.
We cannot wait for the world to open up. We told you guys the other day we were supposed to be coming to Atlanta and we were going to reach out to you because we are big fans. I wasn't really a podcast girl. Alicia has been listening to you guys for years and she turned me on to you guys.
That's so dope.
one of our favorite podcasters that we love. So we can't wait to like really meet you and hug up on y'all and feel on your titties and your booty.
And your husband's penis.
And I may be in DC soon too. Well, I don't know what soon means, but you know, I have a friend who's in Maryland that I got to visit in the DC area.
And so I want to give a huge shout out to Thea because she connected me to y'all, and she has also been very open and willing to, when I told her that before all of this happened that we have a bunch of live shows planned for different cities. She said that she got us on like paid fucking after parties and radio stuff, and like she's just so willing and ready to help for when Cocktails comes to DC. And I appreciate you, bitch. I ain't never even met you in person. I don't even know what the fuck you look like, but that bitch was a producer and fucking just like really has connected me with a lot of stuff, and I can't wait to make some shit happen with her, Kiki. So shout out to Thea.
Shout out to Thea.
Hey, girl.
All right. Well, remember to check us out on Patreon. We do have bonus content. I'm going to upload another bonus video. You won't. I started to say you may be lucky and it'll be up by the time this is up. You won't. But a new bonus video this week. It'll be part 2 of Medina and I's Truth or Drink. And then Drea and I did the entire deck of Truth or Drink cards because they finally arrived. So we will upload that later. That might be in May.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
Was titty showing and booty holes?
Gotta wait to find out.
Ain't nobody show their booty hole.
We didn't show booty holes. You're the only one interested. Well,
I want to see some booty holes.
Pause. I'm the only one not
booty
interested
holes
in that.
like
Let me correct myself. I did see some.
So Drea want to see some booty hole?
Remember to sign up at patreon.com/cocktails. That's COCKTALES, like it is everywhere else. Follow us on Twitter at CocktailsATL. Follow us on Instagram at Cocktails Podcast. I am at Kiki Said So.
And I am at Coffee Bean Dean.
Don't you rip my feathers out.
I love you, Kiki.
Don't rip them.
And until next week, you guys.
Goodbye.